Thanks for staying with us. So the month of March is usually seen as the International Women's Month, which we plan to celebrate very soon. However, a lot of Nigerian women today are not happy about the outcome of yesterday's voting, especially because most of the gender rights bills were not accepted. Some of which we read were the decline of citizenship of foreign-born husbands of a Nigerian woman, when a Nigerian man's foreign-born wife could get his citizenship. Others says they denied Nigerians in diaspora voting. There was one that says denies the women's ability to take indigenship of their husband's state. And says denies 35% appointed positions for women. So these are a few issues that women have raised that were not accepted at the National Assembly yesterday. On the show today, we have with us Honorable Taiwo Oluga, who is a member House of Reps and Chairman Women in Parliament. And also, we'll be having one of the women protesting at the National Assembly this morning, especially because of this development. But first, let's speak to the lawmaker to find out how the voting went yesterday and what exactly happened. Good morning, madam. Are you there?
Good morning, ladies. I'm glad to be on your show.
Thank you, ma'am. So a lot of women are not happy this morning because the news that went out yesterday evening was that many of the bills concerning gender was not accepted. One of which was the fact that a Nigerian woman who's married to a foreign man, her husband cannot get citizenship. Is that correct?
Let me start by appreciating the leadership of Ninth Assembly, especially the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, for great work he did. He has been doing it during the review. And yesterday he really demonstrated it. There was a particular one of the bills that we voted 3 times. He had to lobby, resensitize us, reorientate members to make sure that they really put their weight behind women. But unfortunately, the whole thing went the way it went. And I want Nigerian women to get this right. It is not how about we feel. It is about democracy. And democracy is about thinking and willing to do, and you have the right to vote for whatever you think can work or that is good for you. So our feelings does not really matter. Protest, yes, good. It's good to create the awareness. But this is democracy, and women in Nigeria, we are part of the process. And the process is that we go by numbers. So the game is a game of numbers. If you have the numbers, you are good to go. If you don't have, you go back to the drawing board, you redraw, you re-strategize, you come out in full force. So I want to charge Nigerian women to please, irrespective of how we're feeling, our mood, the way we think, the way we see our men, no. Kudos to those men who voted for us. At a point in time, we got more than 80 votes. We're just 12 at the House of Representatives. Only 12 of us, and not even all of us were on seat yesterday. So that is to tell you that we got close to 70. At a point in time, we got 100 plus on a particular clause. So that is to tell you that we still have men that are really involved and are ready to make sure that women have their place in governance, in administration of parties, and so on and so forth.
Let me get a few more questions in for you.
Honorable Ma, I want to first appreciate you for the work that it takes to be in this kind of space, pushing as a minority within the National Assembly, and also join you in appreciating all the men, the he for she's, that have supported the females so far. I have been in some fora having this tough conversation, and they're saying, why are women asking for affirmative action? Why are we asking to be served? And it hurts me. Like, we're not asking to be served. We're asking for opportunity. And I want you to help women, maybe a few men watching right now, understand why this is an important clause to have included and why what we are demanding is a valid demand to make.
Yeah, I would like to urge more our honorable colleagues, that I would have expected personally that they supported us, that they really make sure that the bill skate through. I would have expected. But we still need to lobby more. We still need to play with them. That we're not there to compete with them. We're not there to be on rivalry staying with them. No, we're creating, we wanted to be on board to complement their efforts, to make sure that what they are doing is, because whatever you commit into the hands of female, you can be rest assured that she's going to carry it out diligently.
Honorable, I have to pause you here. In 2022, we have to start begging these people. I'm really shocked that we're still trying to beg them. I mean, is it not clear that it is? I mean, the First Lady was there last week because of this matter. She came with her entourage. They've been lobbying for years. These women, civil service of society, have been coming to the National Assembly lobbying. So if we're still discussing, we have to appeal to these people. Who are they? Who voted? We need to work against them, meaning that their constituencies need to call them to order. We need to know who voted against and who voted for. Those who voted against, don't you think it's time for us to take this to them?
Yes, I want us to get one thing clear. That power is not a self-calata. I want us to get that one right. And nobody will give you power that take. You have to fight for it, you have to work for it, and you have to pursue it with all you have. So it is not going to be an easy task the way we are feeling. I can understand the way you are feeling. I can understand the way Nigerian women are feeling out there. But it is normal. They are not going to say, we are no more on our seat. We have shifted for you. Do you know the meaning of what we are saying? We are saying that 2/3 or 1/3, 1/3 of members, the male members now, should give way for women. Yes. That is the meaning, that we want to have 35% affirmative. Out of 360, we want to have about 60, 70, 80 women coming back. What is the meaning? Some men will not be returning. So it's not going to be an easy task the way we're looking at it. It's not going to be about lobbying. Thank God and thanks to those who are supporting us. So all we need to do, number one, more women like us, 12 of us at the House of Reps and 8 at the Senate, should try to come on board more. That means if we double our numbers, like 40 or 80 or triple it in the 10th Assembly, that means we will have had about 70, 80 females that can really fight, like some of us that were here. Then we had about 100 plus that we have asked. Then we'll do some lobbying. Do you understand the chain? That is how it can work. But if with this, if some people are running away now, for example, some of us, the 12 of us here, if you think we are humiliated, we don't like the way they are treating us, I don't want to contest again, you are leaving it for them. And it is not over until it is over.
All right, let me pause you for let me go a quick break. When I come back, I'll come to Mariam. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have our guest, Honorable Oluga, in this building with us. Mariam had a question.
Yes, ma'am. Honorable, I understand that sometimes in politics you have to sort of play nice, so that it does not seem like you're alienating your team members or your colleagues who, for me, have shown that they are also opponents. Because there was a part of the conversations when we were asking for 30%, 35%, they were like, no, let's give them 15%. They said in front of people, they stood up with boldness and they said it. And now when you talk about we're not competing with them, we're complementing them. I get the use of that word, but I think it's now time to start competing with them. And when I say competing with them at the polls, competing with them at the grassroots level, when we're sensitizing people, when we're asking voters to vote, when we're educating the voters on what is the best for them, the sort of candidate that is best for them. We should not always go cap in hand, waiting to give them, waiting to ask for something to be given to us. And that was the attitude that I saw yesterday. So unlike, for me personally, I hate to just rant on something that has already passed. For me, once something has happened, the next step is to re-strategize. And I would like to know what concrete methods, what concrete steps we're going to take concerning re-strategizing and making sure our numbers are, you know, higher and maybe at par with the males in the House of the National Assembly.
Assemblies.
Thank you. You know, left for me, if you ask me personally, I would have said yesterday, at least out of the bills, about 2 or 3 could scale through. Number 1 out of it is the one that is regarding the activities, 30% activities of women at the political parties level, irrespective of your party, where the clause was requesting for 30% women. And if you ask me, and it's good I let Nigeria know that it is only 26 ESCO that we have at the local government level, at the ward level, even at the unit level, down to the unit level, and the clause requesting for 30%, only for the men. That was the most shocking one to me, that your female at home, your women at home that has been running up and down, that they have been doing everything for you, queuing, going out with you from morning till evening, you could not give space to them. 30% at the local, not coming to National Assembly now. Our women at home, they refuse. So what is the way out? The way out is that's why I started my speech by appreciating the Right Honorable Speaker. He said he's going to roll out the list, and I can't wait so that we have the list. Then we roll it out. We move as a team to each of the geopolitical zone, the local government, as time permits, because we are running closer to the general election, see how we can let the cat out of the bag for women out there. Then the ball will be in their court, whether to continue running up and down for this particular representative.
Fantastic.
Who has voted
against them?
Who has voted against you being at the ESCO level in your local government, in your ward ESCO? So I think those are the things we just need to strategize more. We just need to hold the bull by the horn.
Fantastic.
And tell us what you want us to do.
Fantastic. I love that. That makes a whole lot of sense. So when we have the names of these people who want to share.
We are waiting for Right Honorable Speaker, just as he
release
said, to release the list for us. And we're going to work on that.
No, he has already told them before they got
I'm sure
in.
by
Make sure
now
you know
the
this
men will be free jetting. I'm sure they will start another lobby now. They will be free jetting.
Exactly. So that's my point exactly. I'm afraid that this list might never come out. So now, I just want to get behind the scene. As the chairperson women in parliament, how exactly did the women, the few women in parliament, lobby, you know, special seats for women in our legislative houses and, you know, the affirmative action bill? How did you go about it? What was the mindset of those who were against it in your conversations? So that we'll know whether or not the list comes out, what we should be sensitizing people about. Is it the patriarchy in our society?
Thank you.
You know, what's this?
Yeah. The kind of politics that will play here, we all know that it is not feminine. We all know that. And the men, out of their responses, I'm responding to your question now. Part of it is that, oh, do they create another seat for you before you are here? So what are you talking? Out of the things we can pick from their responses, they know anyone that additional special seats. So they were totally against it. And just like I have said, that you cannot sit down at the corner of your room and say they should. So we were not too shocked at the beginning. This is the first time the bill will be introduced, creating additional special. And it will interest you. Even those that co-sponsored the bill, the male that co-sponsored, Honorable Nkiruka said yesterday, they didn't vote. Some of them didn't vote for the bill yesterday. So that is to show you that politics is about intrigues. So we just have to work more. So what is the way out? The way out, I have said it, and I will say it again. Let's double our number. Whatever it will take us to increase our number from 20 at the House of Representatives and the Senate. Let's double it. Let's triple it. Let's make it 80. Whatever we have done that has made us to win the election. We have some first time. I am a first timer. just coming on board. I have some that have, they have gone through election process 4 times. Let them come out, train other women, mentor them, give them the courage. Tell them that they can make it, that they have the resources. Those are the things, that the meetings are not overnight. It is a lie. That when you are in politics, they will name you different names. You should develop thick skin. Don't mind them. Come out and let's see how we can double our number. When we have 80, 10th assembly, when we have 100, plus what we have now with little lobby. Rome was not built in a day. I am very optimistic that the 10th assembly, we can make it and the bill can scale through. Right. But staging any protest, if you are staging any protest, it's good. It can't change anything. It can't alter the process. This is a democracy process and we are following it. Right. So for the protesters out there, I salute their courage, for their time, for their everything they left behind to show solidarity and to show that they are not happy. But more than that, we should look for what exactly do we need to do. Let's go back home and bring in more women, irrespective of your party. Vote for women that come out in your constituency.
Yes. Thank you very much, Honorable Luga, for joining us this morning. We appreciate your comments this morning on this. As I said, there are lots of women at the National Assembly right now protesting. We'd like to see if we can reach one of them after the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're still getting calls concerning this issue at the National Assembly. I think I have Yakub from Dokoimu. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
Good morning, and then good morning.
You're live, Yakub. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, thank you very much. Let me begin by saying
the volume is low. Hopefully they can increase the volume.
That the first spoke now is that they were expecting the Honorable Bajabi and Mila to let them know who vote for them or who not vote for them. Morayo, it's not going to be easy. That name is not going to come out, I can tell you that. But the pressure will definitely come from those ones that are not voting for women in the house. Because they know the women have population in this country. The majority population that voted for the men is women. I wonder how they vote down that very particular clause. And then that because he sent affirmation, it's not going to be easy to get as the honorable just said earlier. You people, including you, Morayo, including Tope, Nima, and others, go and join political party. Don't say that the game is dirty. Hello, are you hearing me?
Thank you very much, Yakub. You're very, everybody has to get involved now. I mean, it's getting to that point where we are all seeing that there's a need for more women to get involved.
So I asked the Honorable a question that she should tell Nigerians why this is important. And I maybe you know, she didn't get my question.
No, she got it. She didn't feel her response.
But what I feel is the reason women are asking for this is because until you wear the shoes, you cannot know how it pinches. And you cannot have a majority house of men making female-related decisions well. You don't do period. You don't get pregnant. You don't understand labor. You don't understand how it is. You just don't understand. It's not I cannot understand how it is to be a man. It's not in my wiring. I can feel for you, but I cannot understand it. For balanced society, men and women must be represented in law-making, in decision-making. And until we have such balance, we will not have a fair representation. And we're not asking for equality. The question in this push was for 30%.
Equity.
It's not even, we're not asking to overthrow. We're asking just bring in a few more people. And some men are thinking that we shouldn't ask. We should just go and work.
What the
but guess what?
said?
The parties are controlled by men. The chairman of the party,
but
men.
Understand what Honorable was saying. She was saying that no problem. But you see, allowing more women means I have to live as a man. So so it's not you're not just allowing women to come.
No,
you're saying I'm giving up my seat for a woman, so and that's part of what it's difficult for them to accept.
Yes. But then she spoiled it by saying you can't understand a woman. We're not asking you to understand a woman. Wait.
Yes.
We're talking take away the stereotypes. We are breaking biases this year.
Yes.
See, We are not telling you, you must say, it's about us coming to debate issues that concern only pregnancy, house sitting. Even in the issues that concern defense, bring a woman's perspective on board. That's what we're asking you. Miriam was involved in an accident this morning. Miriam was involved in an accident this morning. Military officers that were driving mail cars, they drove off. The women stopped and stopped traffic because they understood how important it was to save life. There's always a different perspective. It's the point of view that is different. And if you insist that it's about power, because if they put a woman's affirmative seat here and compel that this seat can only be taken by women, it means I lose my seat. And stop saying your mother was a miracle worker. Don't stop that rubbish. Stop coming out and say my mother, I love. Stop it. Consider all of them. Consider all of them and their points of view stupid. This is the point. These men, when they come to that seat, they're only concerned about the occupation of the seat. It is not about the representation of the people. It is about the representation of the people. It doesn't matter the gender. It really doesn't matter. And we must compel that gender's provision by law in every part of the world where it was changed. Something affirmative had to be done. If they don't want to do it, then we'll continue to be here.
I understand what the women are asking, and it's really like, just give us a leg up.
I'm not telling you to come and discuss
We've had years and years of discrimination, and to catch up, you know, at such a time may be difficult, you know, if we go through the regular processes. But we have proven ourselves over time. And the men are, you've been in the position of power at the party level, the grassroots level. You know, you can just give us a leg up is what I believe this is about. Because I personally am not for just giving us seats, you know, just giving us because you are a female. But I understand that you can ask. You know, even when we're talking about empowering women, sometimes we say that we want a sponsor. That you need to have a sponsor that holds your hand and just give you that leg up until you can stand on your feet. But now, they are not going to give that. They are not going to give that to us.
Fight for it.
And yes, they're asking us to fight for it. And it's their right to. So my own is, I don't want to sit down here and be complaining about what they should have done, how they did not give us, hey, what are we doing next? What are we doing next, you know, at the grassroots level, at the party level? What are we doing next as voters, as women voters, when our colleagues come to us to ask for votes? Why do we look at a woman and decide she's not going to be, she's a woman, and you'd rather give a man? Even though the woman has more qualification. So I'm not talking of a woman that does not even have the qualification or experience. When you would see a woman who is well qualified for it, has the experience, but because she's a woman, she's not given that seat.
Let me take this call. Good morning, are you there?
We're bringing votes.
Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. I'm told we have a caller. Okay.
Please, I was going to say that the conversation about, you know, your point is valid. So is mine, in that when we're making laws, you cannot have a law being made that will cover everybody without involving everybody. And you cannot understand what I'm going. I had a conversation with someone yesterday who is going through infertility, and I cannot imagine what she's going through. I'm a woman, but I cannot, because I've not experienced it. So we can't blame you for not seeing my point of view, but you must bring someone with my point of view so that they can be there. Representation of people with disabilities must also be there.
Exactly.
But let us now put it into perspective. We cannot, from what she's saying, we are going to have to be begging them to give us what we want. But we know, if you go to any political rally, you don't need anybody to tell you, the votes come from women. We are the ones that vote.
So, thank you.
The votes if you go for it, we are the ones singing, we are the ones with Ashwebi, we are the ones that queue up under the sun.
Wait, see, you're taking me to exactly where I was heading. Because the English we speak in the air-conditioned conferences room, where we're having all these women talking, we're not getting anywhere. All those women groups, civil society, we come together, we get Sheraton Hotel, or we get a night on the Hilton, have a nice conference of women. You are not hitting, you're not even scratching the surface. We need to go to the ward meetings.
Yes.
That is where these women reside. That is where they will shop. So when we have this list, so we have to start a hashtag, release the list. Because when we get this list,
yes,
Mr. John in XYZ local government will know. One at a time, please. Like Mr. John from XYZ local government voted against. So all you women singing around Mr. John of XYZ local government, go and ask Mr. John, hey, you want me to go and sing for you? So Mr. John, they told you to vote, you don't vote. What happened? I'm not voting for you anymore. The next time you're coming, I am not going to vote for you because you obviously don't have my interest at heart. So we are waiting for the Honorable Speaker to kindly release that list, because that is the weapon we have. So to tell these people who voted against and explain to them why they cannot continue to take us for granted.
I completely agree with you, but the problem is you're asking us to do it the same way it's been done all the time. Yeah. So eventually, Mr. John just does something, buys a section of women and destroys the system. You see the men that are there. These men who, when it's Mother's Day, buy flowers and do bouquet and simple around up and down, put a place for the woman, guarantee that place. That woman you call gold at home, she's a gold anywhere in the world. Yes. Put her and guarantee her office. Yes. We're simply saying, eventually, over years, it will become normal for the woman and the man to coexist in the same place and achieve the same things. This is no longer paddy-paddy. We've paddy-paddy this long. Where are we? Where are we? Nigerians are volunteering to go and fight in Ukraine. We don't have dignity as a nation. Where are we?
Honoring Rwanda here.
I'm telling you,
65%
women representation, and they're a better country. You see the kind of debates they do. Where the men are simply afraid that the seats will go. They're not afraid that the country itself is not where it's supposed to be. We're in strike now. The House has called the organs of NMPC, but they can't compel anything. Where are we as a nation? We are involved in Russia and Ukraine border battles, something that does not even concern us. We are still not giving our people the one that concerns them, that will make home for them.
Let me take this call from Chudi. Chudi, are you there?
Sure, sit down, Jerry.
Hello, Chudi.
Lost the call.
Let's take some.
Okay, let's take a few messages. We're going to wrap up on this.
Her Excellency Bridget had the long one. She said, this particular bill is making me angry. Coupled with the situation in the country, if women were supporting women, I doubt if this bill would have been necessary in the first place. Just imagine, Bayelsa State House of Assembly, we have only 2 women, while National Assembly. In the party's primary election, our fellow women delegates voted against their fellow women, simply because we feel women too do. In the society at large, we have more female than male. And she said, but our gender will prefer the opposite gender. No man would love to fight this battle for us except to decide to support ourselves. The election is coming up again. Let us support our fellow women. Female support female. The problem is, will the parties put their candidates female alone?
Let me take this call from Hassan. Hassan, are you there?
Good morning, Monayo.
Good morning, Mr. Hassan. Go ahead.
I can see that the temper is very high today.
Yes.
I better take it easy, eh? Let me bring something very close to you, please. You see, democracy is about freedom of choice.
Understand.
And when we are bringing gender into it, we are not helping matters.
Really?
If a woman distinguishes herself, she will even go beyond the sky. Leave that issue of this gender equality and what have you. The House of Representatives member has said it all. Nobody will sacrifice his seat for another person, for a woman. Even a man, those guys there are very conscious of that seat. They are ready to die on that seat you are seeing here. Talkless of gender or this or that. You women, go and distinguish yourself. A good woman, people will call for you. You understand? For this issue of trying to equate things, nobody is dragging anything with you.
Asa, thank you for making my point.
A man was born, any man, no matter how great that man is, was born by a woman.
Yep.
You understand? There's no way you can run past your shadow. You understand? So this issue of trying to be that discrimination is about class struggle. People are holding tenaciously to power. And even this democracy you are seeing, I'm telling you one day Nigerians will revolt against it, because I can see that people are really abusing the democracy itself. Good morning.
All right,
thank you, Hassan, for making my point.
You know what is also funny? You know how the men are constantly talking about zoning. Oh, now it's for the South. It's for... You understand why that is important. You understand that it's important that a certain region that has felt disenfranchised for many reasons needs to be highlighted and given a little bit of, you know, a leeway, a leg up. But when it now comes to the woman asking for almost exactly the same thing, you say, no, we cannot do it. So it's important that women have to re-strategize. And my own strategy is not really only at the political parties level. I think we need to start having conversations why a woman will look at a fellow woman and don't think she's good enough. Why she's looking at a certain woman and she does not think she's qualified to be in a position and she does not believe she will serve her interest. You know, it's normal that we talk about nepotism. Why don't we talk about the fact that if a woman is there, she's likely to understand it from my own point of view and make sure that what it is that I need, she would, you know, she will push. And then, you see, women too, we need to do better when it comes to giving support to each other. We see these men in politics. A lot of you will tell you we're this person's boys, we're this person's mentees, we're this person's whatever. How many women leaders, how many women do you have underneath you that are your mentees? How many are you supporting in different ways to help, you know, raise them so that they can stand confidently for office? How many do we have? We need to do much more to support each other.
This tweet just, you know, sort of summarizes it. Parties must lower the bar financially only to encourage participation, since that is clearly a problem. That's Ehi. Rather than hand out tokenistic percentages, organic women participation must be encouraged. It's democracy, not charity.
No, but
the truth is, what Hassan just said, men will not let this go. Somebody has to guarantee that position, that percentage by law. It has to be by law. Or else we'll wait another 50 years to achieve what we can achieve in the short term.
My worry is that there's been so much lobbying on this, and I'm surprised that we're still at this in 2022.
Thank you. We have overpassed this level.
Stay with us to be right back.
We have lobbied.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we're talking about this issue that happened in the National Assembly, and as we wrap up on this matter, what's your final take on this? Because we're talking about what are the next steps, and which is what Mariam left off with. What are the next steps? In your view, what do you think women across, up and below, can do at this time?
Like what we're doing this year now, trying to, you know, sensitize people to understand the importance of the role of women, the perspective to seeing any policy or decision or law that is being made. We've talked about this, but within the home, you still see people shy away from, okay, but let daddy say it first. This is not a confrontation. If you have a mind that is rich, brilliant, don't cover it up. Don't push that or, you know, destroy that person's complex when you know that's the most intelligent. And I mean, when it comes to decisions where families have to decide because of means which gender should go to school, don't ask the female that you know this person has more potential to step down for a male.
Mariam, your final thoughts on this?
Yes, so I think women, because majorly in Nigeria, we are, you know, domesticated, we're at home, and many times all those things affect maybe our interest in politics. So I feel that the way to support a woman and encourage her to step out also, that she can be a wife, a mother, as well as a politician or a representative, is that we need to find cells, smaller units, where we give support to women at their, you know, whatever business it is that they're doing, whatever jobs they're doing, with raising their children, with empowering them in education. Then we'll have another breed of women that are intelligent, confident, knowledgeable about their communities and willing to stand up and represent those communities. We have to start from the bottom.
I want to speak quickly to all our female politicians, our mothers, the women leader or the ward level women leader at the state level who have spent years in this journey and who have sown seed and they have female children, that they need to speak up because they have the numbers and they can better negotiate with our male leaders using what they have. You can guarantee votes, you can start speaking now, because if not, your children might aspire, but they will never get there. So if you really, really love this country and you love your children, as any female leaders, female leaders within the party system must gather together and ask for the affirmative position from the party level so that female candidates come out. Because if we women want to vote, don't have female candidates to vote for, we will not be able to vote.
I'm just disappointed. I don't know what else to say. I think all has been said. I'm quite disappointed that we have a National Assembly, after years of lobbying, back and forth, taking this in and out. Civil society have been on this. The First Lady herself was there last week to remind these people. And even the Speaker himself, according to Honorable Oluga, they voted three times on a certain bill. He said, are you sure? I'm going to release your name. I'm going to write your name to this vote. Are you sure? Please vote again. And they voted exactly the same way. That in itself tells me there are enemies within the National Assembly that do not want women to move forward. And the truth is that we've done the best we can, but I think right now women have to go back, re-strategize, and find a new way. Let's go on the break. When we come back, we'll bring in a special guest who is also a woman leader, and hopefully we'll hear about her story, what she's done, and what she's doing in Lagos State. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.